In the dense forests of northern Maine, hunting was more than a tradition, it was a rite of passage. Every year, seasoned hunters and enthusiastic newcomers would gather to test their skills against the wild. This year, a group of 4 friends decided to take on the challenge. Jake, the seasoned leader; Tom, the sharpshooter; Alex, the tracker; and Sam. The forest was known for its thick underbrush, towering pines, and the eerie silence that seemed to blanket the area. Locals whispered about the spirits that roamed the woods, but the 4 friends dismissed these tales as mere folklore. As dawn broke, they set out with their gear, heading deeper into the heart of the forest. The morning was filled with the sounds of birds chirping and leaves rustling underfoot. They were tracking a large buck that Alex had spotted the day before, hoping to make a significant kill. Hours passed without a sighting. The forest seemed unusually quiet, the air thick with an oppressive stillness. As they ventured further, they stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cabin. Its wooden structure was covered in moss, and the windows were dark and foreboding. Curiosity got the better of them, and they decided to investigate. Inside, the cabin was even more unsettling. Dusty furniture was strewn about, and strange symbols were etched into the walls. An unsettling feeling crept over them, but Jake brushed it off, urging them to continue their hunt. As they left the cabin, the forest seemed to change. The light dimmed, and an unnatural fog rolled in, obscuring their path. They tried to retrace their steps, but the forest seemed to twist and turn, leading them deeper into its heart. Panic set in as they realized they were lost. The silence was now punctuated by strange distant whispers and the occasional snap of a twig, as if something or someone was following them. The hunters, who had once felt invincible, now felt like prey. Jake decided they needed to find higher ground to get their bearings. They climbed a nearby ridge, only to find themselves overlooking a clearing. In the center stood a massive ancient tree, its gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal arms. At its base, they saw something that made their blood run cold. A circle of stones with an animal skull in the center, surrounded by more of the strange symbols from the cabin. As they stood frozen in fear, a chilling howl echoed through the forest. It was unlike any animal they had ever heard. The sound seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, sending shivers down their spines. The friends huddled together, their rifles clutched tightly, eyes scanning the darkening forest. Without warning, Tom was yanked into the shadows by an unseen force. His screams were abruptly cut off, leaving the others in terrified silence. They fired blindly into the trees, the muzzle flashes briefly illuminating the sinister surroundings. Desperation set in as they ran, stumbling through the underbrush. They could feel eyes watching them, feel the presence of something ancient and malevolent. One by one they were picked off by the unseen predator, their screams echoing through the cursed forest. Jake, the last remaining, found himself back at the cabin, bloodied and exhausted. The whispers were louder now, almost deafening. He stumbled inside, barricading the door behind him. As he tried to catch his breath, he saw a figure standing in the corner. A tall, shadowy man with glowing red eyes and a twisted smile. The figure spoke in a voice that seemed to come from the depths of the earth. "You have trespassed where you do not belong." Jake's vision blurred, his body growing heavy. He realized too late that the air in the cabin was thick with a paralyzing miasma. As he succumbed to the darkness, the last thing he saw was the shadowy figure stepping closer, its smile growing wider. The forest reclaimed its silence, the ancient curse consuming yet another group of unwary hunters. In the depths of northern Maine, the spirits whispered once more, waiting for the next souls to wander into their domain.